I'm live, just in case, because you never know for sure. Let me just see. Alright, am I live? Can I hear myself? I can hear myself. Sweet. Hey guys, Cyronic here from T2G, and welcome back. It has been a very long time. It's fine. I go through random periods of burnout. Anyway, this right here is the Tenet Glaxion, one of the best weapons in the game currently. Although the Incarnate Torrid's still better, because duh. But it's still really, really good, and with certain builds, it can have much better utility, especially for, my best Frost build, which is, I main Frost. That's like my thing. This is a very, very good weapon. It's probably the second best beam weapon in the entire game. Don't quote me on that. It's definitely in the top 5, though. It's incredible. So, mine does have 5 Forma. You don't need 5 Forma. Use however many you need. This is what I have. I have a magnetic progenitor. If you want to know how to get one, look up on Google how to get a Sister of Parvos, and that's all you need to know. So, yeah. There's no ribbon. I don't have a good ribbon for this weapon, so you're going to be seeing pretty decent, just base performance. So I've got 3 builds. You do not need 5 Forma. It's there. It's hidden behind my 43 million credits. You do not need 5 Forma. If you want to get all the mastery out of it, go ahead, but it's not required. This is the build. Galvanized Chamber for multi-shot. Galvanized Obtuse for status chance and damage. Prime Shred for fire rate and punch through. The punch through is really necessary because if you're using this with the Nautilus Prime, which is what I usually use in my weapons, it groups enemies, meaning it makes it quite a bit better. Photon Overcharge is an option mod. You do not need it. It's ridiculously expensive. This is the utility I was talking about. Just replace it with Vital Sense, you'll get more crit damage. But I don't care, because what this does, if you have cold in the weapon, which I do, it just makes enemies have a 20% chance to drop a health energy orb when they die, which is ridiculously nice. Then yeah, Malignant Force and High Voltage for corrosive, then Radiated Reload for radiation. You could also run radiation on the weapon, because I've got a magnetic progenitor. You could run radiation on the weapon and run, what's the mod? Magnetic capacity. But I'm just running radiated reload, basically stacking as many elements on the weapon as I can. And you can also use Nourish, which I will be for the second test, to just, yeah. Then primary Frostbite, you're going to want to run this with a companion that can proc ice on someone if you're not running ice, like with these 2 builds, to get that extra stuff, because none of the other primary arcanes are any good, at least I think. I don't know if there's any ones that are like good that are in the new one. You could also run it with like primary Crux, but aiming for headshots is stupid and I hate it. And no. But if you don't have a companion that can proc ice, run primary Crux, primary Merciless, it doesn't really matter. I'm just doing this. So this is the base build. This is basically Gundition. I call it Gundition New because I had Prime Shred. But basically this stacks as many damage types as we can. No Bane mods because Bane mods are stinky and we don't run those here. That's a spoiler. Yeah, this is the build. I'm going to take off my Sentinel for now, just to show you the base performance against 225 Steel Path Orican Battle Group. Because yes. Without my Sentinel, it's not going to be as good, but it's this is the base performance without Viral. Viral gives it a ton of synergy. Yeah, this is pretty much the base performance. I think I might be running a buff on my throat. But aside from that, I mean, still pretty good. Like, I'm not even aiming for headshots, and it still killed everything quite fine. Eximus are a bit more of a problem, but, I do have the Biting Frost augment, so let me remove that with this. See, there's no buffing things going on here, so I'm going to remove that just to be consistent. None of my Archon shards on my Frost have been doing enough. So I do it now. It is still slightly stacked. It's going to suck a little bit. It's significantly worse. But this is meant to be used with Viral. You want to with a Nourish. If you don't want to use it with Nourish, then yeah, once I add Nourish, once you add Nourish, it's ridiculously strong. But yeah, so I should mention these two builds are meant to be used with Nourish. This is what meant to be used without Nourish. Basically, it's the exact same build, but instead of running corrosive and radiation, we're running viral and electricity. This could be better if you ran electricity as the progenitor and like did some fumbling, so you could add elementalist. Careful, elementalist right there, which would make it a lot better. But this is just the build without that. If you don't want to use Nourish on your frame, this is the build for you. It's the same exact thing. That other build, now, I'm not a liar. These are the best builds, but you need Warframe buffs for the other two to make it fully shine. This is the build you'll want to run, and if you have like Electricity Progenitor, you could run Elementalist and try to finagle that, but I don't, and I'm not going to. I'm not going to farm a second one for this. The battle group here, it's going to get annihilated for the most part once we get those stacks going. Still struggles a little bit without buffs and without the sentinel. With a sentinel, it's going to do great. You'll see the full performance. But just as the weapon itself, without any Warframe buffs, without any armor strip whatsoever, without anything else, this will carry you through pretty much the entirety of the base game and pretty much all content in the game, aside from like deep Archimedia and stuff. So that's that build. Now I'm going to show you it with Nourish. I actually have a way to show you this with the build without ruining things. So if I go to this build, which is Condition Frost, I will remove Biting Frost just to be honest. So I have this set to 70% strength. I butchered my own build. So it gives 70% electricity damage. Don't worry about it. But basically, when it gives that electricity damage, that's substituting for having that as a progenitor. It's a little bit stronger, but so right now we only have viral, and we do have magnetic, which is a little bit unrealistic, but it's fine. Yeah. Then if I do this, if I do Shock Trooper, this, you'll see it's quite a bit better because it has that element for this. This is the setup you come with Heavy Gunner still kind of everything goes down pretty easy. Nuke this entire area, common enemies just like that. Alright. So to turn my builds back to normal. I can just rebuild that later. It's fine. Now with this, I will be running Biting Frost, which gives him 200% crit chance, 100% crit damage against frozen enemies. It's a buff. I know, I won't be using Nourish yet, but I will be using it with a companion now. So this is the viral zap build. Thing back on. There's the thing. There it is. Alright. This is the build without that. You already saw the other one with it. So now, we're going to add a companion. Nautilus Prime is nutty. He's only good for like two things. Just run Manifold Bond and Cordon and you're good. Like, everything else is kind of just extra. This is to make him recover. This is to make him shoot more things, all that. Important thing, Tazakor. Good weapon. You can get it from Fortuna. This is the build. It is 2 Forma. You do not need primed cryo rounds. You do not need primed cryo rounds. There's 2 builds, but this is the first build. It literally just, Shivering Contagion is great because it crowd controls enemies with the ice, and since we're using Biting Frost, You know what? No, I'm actually going to show you it without Biting Frost first. This is Medante. He doesn't have anything else except for he does have Nourish. So I'll use that first to show you with Nourish and without the Frost passive buff. So, yeah. Going back to this build, original build, and yeah. So the Sentinel, this is the Tazakor. It's basically just the Amprex, but a Sentinel weapon. You can proc a bunch of status effects for the Condition Overload effect on the Aptitude mod. I've got Cold, Magnetic, Radiation, Corrosive. Yeah. Multi-shot doubles the status. This is just for status. You can also run this if you want to. This is the Viral Electricity Radiation Magnetic. It's pretty similar. Probably swap that for something else. I don't know. Yeah, it's pretty much the same build, but I can do that to make it a little bit easier to. You do not need prime cryo rounds with this because you don't want viral being higher than the other ones because it's viral. And it'd be a pain, but due to the way I formatted, I have to run it this way. Just yeah, it's you're just running this to prime status effects. I'm not running the corrosive cold because cold does increase crit damage. I think because of the status effect. Now to run this, Nourish, and the companion. Look at this. What used to struggle against enemies is now blasting. I'll take off the companion and just use it with Nourish to show like exactly how strong it is now. And I will, well, once we get to the stronger builds, I'll full stress test them against like full heavy gunners, Maximus heavy gunners. Yeah, see, it's just absolutely devastating. Yeah, that's. Yeah, Nourish adds a lot because having viral status on these things is really helpful. What you could do is you could run like a Panzer Volophyla, but at the same time, those are kind of inconsistent, and I prefer to have the companion. And if you mix it with the companion, now we're along the way where we can just summon the full heavy units and be fine. Because the heavy units are just going to get melted like everything else. Now the first stack does suck playing for headshots. I'm at my best build. This is what I'm at my best build. This is just a comfort build. You summon a ton of energy orbs. I use this on my Frost build. I have a full setup with him. It basically just gives him energy. And also the health orbs from Synth Deconstruct from Nautilus and Task Force. That's that build. Now, let's show you this build. This is the best build. This is the one, you literally swap one mod, and yeah. You could finagle with the Progenitor element to get, like, to be able to use primed cryo rounds, but you don't need it. You'll see momentarily. Oh, and since we're not running cold, we're using the Sentinel to get primary frostbite with this. So, yeah, that's why we're still using that instead of the other ones. But yeah, by the way, no ribbon. My ribbon sucks because it's meant for the. I had one for the Glaxion Vandal, but this thing is used by a lot of people. So this is the best build. Others are just like more like this is more catered toward casual play, and this is more catered towards like specific photon overcharge. You could totally drop this and get higher damage, but just the utility of it summoning more energy orbs is something that I care about myself. So, yeah, this build. I'm going to show you it with Frost afterwards, because I have the extra buffs. But yeah, this is going to be a little nutty. And they're all dead. You do need Nourish. I will take off my Sentinel just to show you it without any other status priming, which will actually remove the Arcane as well. So it's going to be but even so, it's still going to be nice. As long as you have Nourish or some kind of viral priming, they're still going to die. Them being weak definitely helps with the blast status effect. This is definitely the best because turning a semi-single target weapon into a thing that can clear rooms is something good. That's literally why melee weapons like the Okina Prime with melee influence are the meta now. Because turning a single target weapon into one that can hit multiple enemies is, yeah. So now, I'm going to grab Frost. This is my Frost, 16 Forma, triple Umbra Frost, it's fine. So, this is the Nourish build. I'm running, yeah, I've got 2 Umbra Forma. Don't worry about this. You can probably do this without 2 Umbra Forma. Easier. This is the build. This is what I'm using. It's mainly just for Nourish and Biting Frost. Because, yeah, it's nuts. If you don't know what that does, I'll probably make a video on my Frost eventually. Take that. mix it with the companion that I just talked about, and then you summon. These are the toughest enemies I can spawn: Eximus Heavy Gunners, and watch how fast they go down. And this is without stacks, without. And now with the arcades, last. This will easily carry you through the entirety of the content the game has to offer, aside from level cap. But people that do level cap are silly. And if you want to do level cap, there's like other builds. You can run faction mods and like customize it. But this is more like this will carry you through everything that sane people do. This will carry you probably well into like level 1,000. You could obviously, like, you know, if you're going to go to level 1,000, just use Valkyrie. But this is... If you want to see the performance of the other one with the full build, the other two builds that I have here, just, yeah, regular build that I use this one pretty regularly because of the energy with this build, and it still performs pretty well. This is with 0 stacks. This is with sentinels. Blasted to oblivion. Now, obviously, this is strong something like the Okina Prime, but I mean, it's a gun. I mean, this is, again, it's a beam weapon, so it's nuts. Yeah. So these are 3 builds. Use these 2 with Nourish, this one without. You could probably do a build with... No, because it comes with base cold, this is why. Yeah, you have to build viral on it no matter what. Because in order to run electricity, but yeah. You can really run like a viral blast setup if you want to waste your mod slots, but this is generally the best. If you have a good ribbon, it's probably not going to be good because this thing has 1-star ribbon disposition, so... Yeah, these builds. This is the regular build for casual play and for Photon Overcharge. If you don't have Photon Overcharge, this build's kind of pointless. This is the best build if you use it with Nourish. And this is the build for just casual play. This is the build if you don't want to use Nourish and you just want to use the weapon by itself. And if you have a electricity progenitor, you can totally drop Stormbringer and like finagle the mods probably to, yeah, or you could run a frame with Volt's Shock, Helminth Subsumed, and Shock Trooper, and you could just run Elementalist, and it's going to be doing more than double damage. So those are the builds. I hope you enjoyed, and that's all I have to say. I'll see you guys next time, whenever I decide to record the next video. Say hi, Ronica.